welcome back to another vlog. We're currently at the tattoo shop. I'm about to get tatted. I'll put a picture, or no, actually no, I'm not gonna do any of that. But we are bringing you guys along to watch the whole process, so we'll definitely be recording it. And I'll see you guys in a bit. And now we are going into the beginning of the tattoo. He is currently just lining it up, making sure it's right where we want it. At this point, I was nervous. I had butterflies in my stomach. I wasn't that nervous because I'm used to tattoos, but I was definitely nervous because it was such a big piece. And here I am, had to get a little nervous dance in before I sat down on that chair for 8 hours. This is his nice little setup he had before we started. Here's his logo again for the second time or third time. I don't know how many times, but here we are. We finally got the stencil going. Applying the stencil officially to my skin. And if y'all were curious, before we started applying the stencil, he did shave my leg to make sure it was a clean surface before applying the stencil. Now here we are. Here's a little overview of the whole tattoo stencil before we begin. And here we are finally starting the tattoo. So here we are in the middle tattoo lining, and here we are in the middle of tattoo shading. This part right here was the worst part, I could say. I was definitely feeling a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort at this point, mainly in that area. So it wasn't a lot of pain, but definitely discomfort. That middle section of my leg was definitely the worst place, I think, to get tatted at, because I have big tattoos on my body, and I think compared to all of my tattoos that I've gotten, I think that's the worst one in that area. So, but it was a great experience, and would I do it again? I definitely will be doing it again. So just so y'all know, there will be future tattoos uploaded as well as this one. So here he's about to clean me up because I finally had to take a restroom break. So he's just gonna wipe me down, and then I'm going to use the restroom. I think we were about 6.5 hours in at this point. 6.5 probably, I could say, just about. After he's done cleaning me up, I jumped off this table so fast. Now here we are again. We are back from my little break, cleaning me up before he goes right back into doing the tattoo. And at this point, I think I was just getting tired. here we are, you guys. This is the ending of the 8-hour tattoo session. It was definitely well worth the time and the pain. Now he is just wrapping it up. We left this plastic wrap on for a day. I ended up taking it off the next day and of course washing it up. But here he's just applying the plastic to protect it. You guys, at this point, you guys can see my face in this part, and I look exhausted. My face is just like, can you hurry up? Because I was done for. And if you guys haven't already, like, share, and subscribe to my channel for future videos. I do have a couple videos coming up. And if you guys have any ideas on new videos that you guys would love for me to do, just comment them down below.